Certainly the sacking of Ivan Bakanov, the head of the security service, was something that people had seen coming. One of the main criticisms that there has been in Ukraine against Volodymyr Zelensky's administration, which does remain broadly very popular, is that they ceded territory in the south, Kherson region in particular, very quickly to the Russians without much of a fight. In particular, bridges linking Crimea, which has been occupied since 2014, to mainland Ukraine were not blown up. There's only two roads really that you can cross from Crimea to mainland Ukraine on, and so a lot of people were asking how come the Russians were able to do that, and there have been accusations of basically sabotaging Ukraine's defense plans in that direction and of collaborating with the Russians.
A rising death toll in Haiti, fueling the problem, the flow of small arms to violent gangs on the island. On Saturday, the UN Security Council expressed alarm over the killing and kidnapping of hundreds of Haitians across the capital Port-au-Prince this year alone. It's called on its own member states to stop supplying weapons to the island. They unanimously agreed to ban the transfer of small arms and ammunition to non-state actors and threatened targeted sanctions against criminals and human rights abusers. Violence has skyrocketed in Port-au-Prince ever since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse a year ago.
Tonight, tragedy in the skies over Las Vegas. Two single-engine planes colliding in mid-air just before noon. Video from the scene shows the wreckage of a plane in flames. Federal authorities say one plane was preparing to land when it collided with the other plane. A Piper PA-46 crashing into a field near a runway. The other plane, a Cessna 172, falling into a nearby retention pond.
Do you have any kills on board?
Sources telling ABC News 4 people were killed in the crash.
What we do know right now is that we have what appears to be one shooter. Looks to be an adult male. We have not identified him yet. We do not have a motive yet. It appears that he had a rifle with several magazines of ammunition, entered the food court and began shooting. We have 5 victims. 4 have been confirmed deceased. And 2 are at Eskenazi Hospital with wounds, and we do not have an update on their condition at this time. We believe at this time investigators are still questioning the individual involved, but it appears that a good Samaritan that was armed observed the shooting in progress and shot the shooter.
Moving on for now to the African nation of Sudan, where violent anti-military protests rocked the capital city of Khartoum on Sunday over rising violence in the country's Blue Nile state that has already claimed over 60 lives. Security forces fired tear gas at the protesters to disperse the crowds from gathering. They also erected roadblocks on bridges crossing the Nile River, linking Khartoum to its suburbs. Protesters have accused the military rule for the surge in tribal clashes in the country. The capital has been the scene of near-weekly protests since the Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan launched a power grab in October last year.
Two men accused of killing 7 people at a Kestell Farm in the Free State will appear in court today. The 2 suspects were arrested within 24 hours of the mass killing. The deceased are a teenage boy and 6 women. They were aged between 17 and 53.
Germany is on energy-saving mode. Municipalities across the country have implemented measures such as lower temperatures in swimming pools and dimmed street and traffic lights. That's as the conflict in Ukraine has caused an energy crunch that started to spread from industry to households. Another bitter realization for the government is that Germany has been too reliant on Russian energy for decades. Its consequences have only been exacerbated by the war and a recent shutdown of the Nord Stream 2-1 natural gas pipeline due to maintenance work. But Germany is not the only one affected. 12 EU countries have now been either fully or partially cut off from Russian gas supplies, which have already been dwindling months ahead of the European winter when they will be most needed.